I got this box in from CGC 2 days earlier than I expected, so this was an awesome, pleasant surprise for the weekend. So this is an exciting box for me because this is the first time I actually bought comics that were already graded CGC slabs with a specific intent to crack them, clean and press, resubmit, and see what kind of grade bump I could potentially get. I wanted to test my eye. Can I look at a book online that's already slabbed and see a good candidate to do this with? So that's what this box is all about. So let's crack into this box and see what happens. And here we go. There they are inside there. Sufficiently covered. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of here. And somebody asked in the comments, who puts the labels on these to cover the grade? And I actually do it myself. I close my eyes, I feel the slabs, I can tell where the front and the back is, and I take the little sticky note and I stick it in the top left corner and I make sure it's there good, then I peek, and hopefully, and every time so far it's been covered. I have not given the grade away to myself. So yeah, that's how it's a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of here and we'll get started. Alright, first step complete. They all got the universal grade, which is good. We didn't get any kind of conserved business or none of that stuff. So the first one is Coyote 13. I'm going to do this from least probably value, fair market value, all the way to the highest fair market value. It's an early McFarlane story and artwork. I believe it's a McFarlane story. So yeah, number 13. Now this one I thought was 9. It was well, I didn't think. It was a 9.2 when I bought it. Online, it looked like it could maybe get to 9.6 or 8. That's why I bought it. But once I had it in my hands, I realized it's probably capped at a 9.4. So I'm thinking 9.2, 9.4 might be it. You know, I obviously did not buy well on this one. I mean, I probably should be looking more in the 8.5 range to try and get to 9.4 better instead of trying to get 9.2s and 4s and try to get it. But anyways, and I don't remember what the exact defects were when I took it out. But I do remember I thought it was capped at 9.4. But anyways, let's go ahead and just take a look. What? Of all the submissions, there's only been a couple books that I absolutely did not expect to get a 9.8. The first one was this one right here, this 361. That one was completely out of left field. This one, this was even almost further out of left field. I mean, there was something on this book. And I can't remember what it was, but apparently, you know what it was. And I actually realized this. These are old notes. Okay. I know what it is. I've bought a few of these, and I've seen, now I didn't know this, but there were some impressions here along the bottom, like some little, almost braille on the cover, and some deep impressions right here. And I fixed them a lot, but I did not, they're impossible to get all the way out. So I thought it capped me at 9.2 or 4. But now that I've seen several books that all have the same thing, I think they just discount that now. Everything else on the book is a 9.8. I'm pretty confident. So that's what happened here. And I completely forgot about that. I sent this in a month or so ago. And I just absolutely, I've looked at several books since that were 13s. And there you go. I mean, so this is not a left field one now that I think about it. White page 9.8 makes perfect sense because it has that common defect on the bottom of the back cover. Yeah, happy to start out with a 9.8. Is it my imagination, or does almost every submission that I do seem to start out with some crazy grade? Okay, we'll take it. I definitely will take it. Oh, by the way, this one right here won the votes for being on the wall. This one as well, and the Zelda as well. Because in some past unboxings, I asked people to comment and vote on which book they would prefer to see behind me right here. And yeah, and I believe this one won as well one day. So what we'll do, this one's Halloween based, so I'll keep this up through Halloween. But go ahead and pick your favorite one from this submission, because I think all of these are going to be PC books, if the grade's high enough. So yeah, hopefully these will be PC books. So I don't know which, I'll probably just replace this one at the end of the month with whatever one you vote on this time. So yeah, vote in the comments which one of these books you would like to see behind me, and I will keep rotating these books out and keep it fresh, so we always have something cool to look at. This is definitely a PC book here. This is early McFarlane work. I'm trying to get all the early McFarlane books in 9.8, and this is just amazing. I don't think I'll ever get, there's a few I might not get, but now I've got All-Star Squadron 47 and 9.8, and now I've got Coyote 13. I do want to get Coyote 11, and I already have Infinity Inc. 14 up there. And that's one of his early, I think it's a tie for his first cover art. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. Now, this is just one of my favorite covers of all time. I think it's one of everybody's favorite cover. Like, I think if you're a Wolverine fan, this is always in your top 5 for favorite Wolverine covers. In fact, they used this one in comics and advertisements back in the 80s and maybe even 90s when they were advertising things. I see a slight little tick here that's annoying to me because I think that might actually be reversion. I've improved since a month ago sending these in. There are things that I do now that I did not do then that have vastly, I hope, improved what I'm doing. So this is an older submission, and I'm learning so much in this hobby of cleaning and pressing. It's like every single time I do a book, I'm like, man, I wish I knew that, on that book 2 weeks ago, right? So I'm getting better slowly. I'm still not the best. Admittedly, I'm doing good for a beginner, but yeah, I make mistakes, and I know there's people out there doing a better job than me at this. But anyway, that's neither here. Oh, almost saw the grade. Oh, let's get this up here. I hope you guys didn't see that. If so, I'll edit it out. I saw it was 9 point something, and I think I'm expecting 9.7. I mean 9 point something, so we're good. I did not see the second number, so that's good. Okay, so we got Wolverine Limited Series. I bought this as a 9.0. And once again, I got it, and I was thinking maybe 9.2 or 9.4. There were some defects that I couldn't get out. Apparently, this tick was so bad I couldn't get it out completely. But it is a gorgeous book, and this is definitely, no matter what the grade is, it's going in the PC. Just because I don't have it, and I never got this limited series when I was collecting. So let's go ahead and just see. We're hoping for a 9.2 or 4 on this. Okay, 9.6 is just awesome. That's above, again, what I expected on this book. So I will definitely take the 9.6. Very, very, very happy. Yeah, there's one little non-color. Actually, you know what? It breaks color anyway. It's just frustrating because I know I don't do that anymore. I get that out. But there's bad Newton rings all over this thing. This is I mean, you can see it right there. It's horrible. Yeah, it's like this big on the book. So I'll see if I could use my little fixing technique to take care of that. But yeah, beautiful book. Very happy with the 9.6. We're once again running above what we expect. So cross my fingers this continues because I love it. Okay, so now we got Avengers 196, which is a book that I never had in my personal collection either. And it was a little bit before my collecting time. And once it became a key, I found out when I got back into collecting, I was like, it's on my radar to pick this up. So I found it in an 8.5 for a really good price. I got it either at fair market value after taxes and everything or below fair market value at the time. Now, some of these books I picked up not during the boom, but right after, and prices are still falling. So I don't think I'm going to do great price-wise on these books. But yeah, once again, I'm putting the prices on the screen. We'll see. But yeah, so I got this Avengers 196 First Taskmaster at an 8.5, and I was hoping to get it to a 9.0 or a 9.2. I thought I had a good chance at a 9.2 after I cleaned and pressed. There was too much on it that I don't think I could get it above that. So yeah, 9.6, that is a good result. So yeah, when you're expecting to get 9.2 as your cap and it rolls in a 9.6, we will take that all day long. That is just freaking awesome. So went from an 8.5 to a 9.6. I'd say that's a success. I mean, I'd say all of these are a success so far. So yeah, tickled to death. I was actually really nervous about this submission because I thought I didn't do very good on picking books. But apparently, either I'm really lucky with a grader again, which, I mean, how many submissions am I going to put in before I'm just not lucky anymore, I think this is my 5th or 6th, and the grades have all been way above what I expected. So I'm just a very harsh grader, I'm guessing. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's no other way I can kind of make that assumption now. But I don't want to jinx myself. Let's don't do that. So the next one we've got is Incredible Hulk 271. And First Rocket Raccoon. Another book that was never in my collection. It was before my time. Actually, it was right at the beginning of my time collecting, I believe. I think I was somewhere in the 8 or 9-year-old range when this one came out. But I did not get it. And I would have if I had seen this on the stand, because this is pretty awesome. I mean, the Hulk with the Rocket Raccoon. I mean, I would have bought that if I had seen it, but I just missed it. So once again, I picked this up for a good deal. This one was actually a 7.0. It was one of the lower ones I got out of this batch. And I bid on it, and I got it for a really good price, though. And I think I got it for less than 150, maybe 120. Once again, the prices will be on the screen here. And yeah, so let's just see what happens here. I'm hoping that I was able to get it up to an 8.0 or an 8.5. So 7 to 8, 7 or 7 to an 8.5. are kind of what I'm looking for here. Wow. Wow. Man, I don't know. What am I doing here? Am I just that bad at grading? I guess so. I thought I was getting decent at it, but if I'm going to be bad at it, let me be bad at it on the low end, you know? And let me just exceed expectations. I mean, these are absolutely gorgeous books. I mean, I cleaned it up. I did do a little bit of whitening on this one. And I believe this was off-white to white pages. And while I'm at it, I'm also I recorded the entire process, or at least parts of the entire process, where I was cleaning and pressing these, the whole cleaning, pressing, light box, all that stuff. I'm going to do a separate video for each one of these. So if you want to see the process on what's going on, just look for those in future videos. I decided to go ahead and do a complete unboxing of this just because I was so excited to see the grades. I didn't want to wait any longer. But you'll be able to see most of the whole process and what these books looked like before and after. So you can see how I got from, you know, a 7.0 up to somehow found a 9.4, which is just crazy to me. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with that grade as well. Once again, that's a PC book. I'm not selling that one. And yeah, the last one, but certainly not the least one. And I have a copy of this. There was a childhood copy that I actually did not have the tattoos for. And the funny thing is, I bought that thing, I believe, on the stand. And I don't remember ever taking tattoos out of it. So somebody took those stupid tattoos out. And I never knew I submitted it to the presser that did such a bad job on books. And never even knew to check for tattoos. But anyways, got it back, had the green label or whatever. But it is a 9.6. So I've already got this book. But, you know, I'd like to get a clean label one. This one is not going to get 9.6. There's no way in heck. This one started as a 6.5. But I was very excited about this book. You'll see it in the video if you watch when I'm, you know, cracking this one and getting it out. I was extremely excited because there was like there was tons of non-color breaking pressable defects on this book. So I thought I was able to go from a 6.5 all the way up to maybe even a 9.0. But 8.5 to 9.0 is how I graded this book. But if I could go to 6.5 to 7.5, I'm going to be extremely happy on this book because this is a higher value book. I think I paid about $300 for this book. I don't know if the price has dropped any on this book. I'll run the numbers on that. So let's go ahead and see how we did on our last book. Is the trend going to continue way higher than we expect? Or are we going to come back to earth finally on a book? Not that I want to, but is that going to happen? So let's see what we got. I almost don't even know what to think. I'm about as speechless as you can get right now, and that's hard to do. This was a 6.5. I have no idea what the value of this one is. I'm sure it's crazy higher than what I thought I was going to get out of this book. It did get off white to white pages, which is a little bit disappointing. But yeah, I mean, this thing looked great after I pressed it. I do remember that. There was one major color breaking tick here, I believe. And I just couldn't do anything with it. And I don't remember what else was the notes on this. But I thought this thing was capped at 9.0. So once again, I'm terrible at grading. But I do spend a lot of time on these books. I put 100% effort. TLC, I overcook these books as far as I'm very, very meticulous. I get them down at every angle and every possible lighting. And I just check. And I work every single defect on the book within reason. If I think that it can come out and help the grade, I get it out of these books. And then I'll set it aside. I'll come back to it. I'll re-look at it. I'll rework it. Then I'll put it in the cold. I'll press it again. I'll put it in the cold press. I'll wait. And I'll look at it again before I ship it off. So I've got like a 3-tier process where I inspect these books. And sometimes when I'm getting them in the box to ship to CGC, I will find something else and I'll spend another day working on it. So yeah, I'm sure professional pressers don't go through all those steps, and maybe that's why I'm getting these the success that I am. But really, I mean, there's no secret to how I pick these books. I basically look for as few color breaks on the spine as I can, sharpest corners I can find, and then just make sure there's no tears or anything obvious. And I look for grader's notes that say bends. I try to avoid books that have anything to do with creases, because creases is what CGC says when they mean color breaks. I just basically look for that word bend a lot. If I see the word bend a lot, I know I can get that grade higher most of the time. And as long as it's not eat up with spine ticks or something like that, I mean, that's when you roll the dice, and that's a good thing to do in this case. So once again, my grades are off the charts. I did get an off-white. That's the only fail on this submission, but who cares? That book is beautiful. I mean, Who cares if it's off-white pages? And this book, by the way, is notorious for getting or having slightly off-white pages. I think I bought that thing, not this one, but the other one. These books were never white. If you grew up in the era that I was collecting, these books were not white when we bought them. They were off-white when we bought them. And I don't remember this being so bad. If I thought it was so bad it could get off-white to white, maybe I'll talk about this in the video. I don't want to get ahead of myself here because I might be contradicting myself. But yeah, I generally, if I think it's bad enough, I may have given it some light treatment. But once again, a high dollar book, if I think it can get white pages, I won't gamble. So yeah, I don't know what to say, but what would be your favorite that you want to put on the wall behind you? I already know which one I'm going to put back there, or which one I would look for. Although I love all these books. I mean, these are all beautiful books. I mean, kind of almost want to do the 9.8, right? But, you know, that's the smallest book of the bunch. I actually think my favorite is this one. It's way higher than I expected, but just look at that cover. How can I not put that on the wall behind me for a while? I don't want to skew you guys or bias you guys in any way on what you choose. Pick the one that you like. They're all going on the wall at some point, if not now. So it's just which one ends up behind me, you know. But yeah, once again, these beautiful books, exceptionally higher grades than I expected, which is awesome. And yeah, very, very happy, almost emotional about, you know, this unboxing, because this is my first foray into what I want to become my main part of this hobby. I want to spend time buying bigger books, even bigger books than this one. Find the ones that are like 6.5s or 7s like this and try to get them up to higher grades like this and either flip them or just keep them in the personal collection. It's not all about the money for me. I mainly look for books that I like. I'm not just buying books because it's for the dollars and cents. I'm buying it because one, it could be in my personal collection, and two, okay, maybe I'll sell it if I get a better one, right? Or a higher grade one. They're all great. There's no better in comics, right? A 2.0 of this is just as good as a 9.8 in my book, right? It's just had a little more love over time. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's got more character, right? So we all love these books, and we're going to keep collecting these books, and I really appreciate you guys spending this time with me. Sorry to ramble on again. I'm trying to get these videos down to at least 15 minutes or less, and hopefully I'm able to edit this one down to that. If not, I'm sorry. But so yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.